Under cover of midnight, James became a thief in the night. Remote and unseen, he navigated NASA's network like a shadow. In the dark silence of his bedroom, lines of code scrolled across his monitor as he executed the dark download. Hardening is key. James exploited unsecured routers and outdated security. Today's lesson: defend in depth. Firewalls, intrusion detection, and least privilege accounts are a must. Don't leave a backdoor open, even an anonymous intruder may find it. He didn't stop at NASA. Next target, the Pentagon's own backyard. In late 1999, James crawled through the Defense Threat Reduction Agency (DTRA) network, a division charged with countering weapons threats. What happens next will shock you. Who is Jonathan James? What happened to him? Why the FBI kept looking for him? The following content is based on publicly available reports of real cybersecurity incidents. While dramatized for educational purposes, it does not intend to identify or defame any person or organization. The Boy Who Hacked the Pentagon. Chapter 1. The Ghost in the Machine, the First Breach. A teenage hacker slips into darkness. At just 15, Jonathan Comrade James became a ghost in NASA's systems, his fingers dancing over keyboards from a bedroom thousands of miles away. In September 1999, he infiltrated 13 NASA computers at the Marshall Space Flight Center in Alabama. His prize? The International Space Station's life support code, $1.7 million worth of proprietary software that controlled temperature and humidity. In just 2 days, he downloaded the ISS environment program, triggering a 21-day shutdown of NASA's systems at a cost of $41,000 in contractor labor. No alarms warned of this ghost in the machine. He had slipped in through unsecured portals like a phantom. By the time NASA realized what had happened, James was gone. He also quietly tapped a Pentagon network, the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, siphoning off thousands of emails and dozens of valid usernames and passwords. Chapter 2, The Obsession, the Boy Behind the Screen. Behind that phantom smile was a boy utterly consumed by code. Jonathan grew up devouring computer manuals and hacking challenges. Schools knew him as a whiz who mysteriously aced his grades. At home, he was the son of a computer engineer. Hours and days blurred as he honed his skills. Hacking wasn't about money, it was pure puzzle solving. He even cited The Cuckoo's Egg, a famous hacker hunt story, as inspiration. When reporters finally cornered him after arrest, he shrugged off the drama. "I was just doing it for fun, like playing video games." In his world, code was a game and systems were puzzles. He bragged to a PBS Frontline interviewer, "They lack some serious computer security. I know Unix and C like the back of my hand because I studied. But the hard part isn't getting in. It's learning to know what you're doing." This boy behind the screen craved the thrill of cracking the uncrackable, and he had proved he could. Chapter 3, The ISS Heist, the Dark Download. Under cover of midnight, James became a thief in the night. Remote and unseen, he navigated NASA's network like a shadow. In the dark silence of his bedroom, lines of code scrolled across his monitor as he executed the dark download. In June 1999, he downloaded the ISS environmental control software, the very program that regulated the station's life support. Over 40,000 lines of code spilled into his hard drive, giving him control of temperature and air pressure algorithms. By dawn, NASA computers were mysteriously locked down. Technicians found their systems shut off for 21 days to analyze the breach. The result was astonishing. A $1.7 million heist accomplished with a few keystrokes. Yet to James, it was just another high score, another secret file to explore before fading back into the night. Chapter 4: The Pentagon Breach, The Secret Files. He didn't stop at NASA. Next target, the Pentagon's own backyard. In late 1999, James crawled through the Defense Threat Reduction Agency (DTRA) network, a division charged with countering weapons threats. Using a weak firewall in Dulles, Virginia, he installed a backdoor and quietly siphoned off intelligence. Over weeks, he grabbed thousands of sensitive emails and 19 user accounts, 10 of which gave him actual military computer access. In effect, he walked off with secret files on weapons research, missile defense, and more, all without leaving a fingerprint. In his mind, this was just more intel to collect, another score like a gaming trophy. But to the world, it was the ultimate hack, classified Pentagon communications in the hands of a Florida teen. His final haul was staggering, over 3,000 messages by one count. Every secret he copied was a thrill for him, but an unthinkable breach for government cybersecurity. Trivia challenge: which of the following exploits was used by the 2017 WannaCry ransomware to spread globally? A. Eternal Blue. B. Blue Keep. C. Heartbleed. D. Shellshock. We'll reveal the answer later in the episode, so stay tuned. Chapter 5: The Cyber Hunt, The Traceback. But even ghosts leave traces. James thought he was invisible, but investigators closed in fast. Clues from NASA's logs and network forensics pointed to the same Miami suburb. On January 26, 2000, a joint task force of NASA security, the Department of Defense, and local police stormed James's house. In that late-night raid, they found the teenage hacker at his computer, still logged into one of the systems he'd broken into. In the living room lay printouts of code and passwords. The trail of the phantom had been found. Within hours, the headline was historic. Jonathan James was formally indicted on hacking charges, making him the first juvenile in US history to be caught and prosecuted for cybercrime. No longer a shadow in the wires, the boy behind the screen was now a fugitive in the eye of a massive digital manhunt. Chapter 6: The Reckoning, The Final Verdict. No cameras, no dramatics, just cold hard justice. In September 2000, James quietly pleaded guilty in federal court. His sentence was lenient by adult standards: 7 months of house arrest, probation until age 18, and a ban on personal computer use. Even Attorney General Janet Reno noted that this case proved authorities would get tough on young hackers. James was forced to pen apology letters to NASA and the Pentagon. He told reporters he was finished with the hacking life. It wasn't worth the hassle, he admitted. But fate was cruelly patient. During a routine probation check, he tested positive for drugs, and that minor violation landed him 6 months behind bars in a juvenile lockup. By 2003, he was free again, older but still silent on his future. The reckoning had come, he had paid his debt, or so everyone thought. Chapter 7: The Secret Legacy, The Unbroken Code. Years passed like whispers. Jonathan James faded from headlines, seemingly a cautionary tale ended, but shadows lingered. In 2007, a new cybercrime storm struck the country, the massive TJX retail credit card breaches, and investigators revisited suspects. Secret Service agents once again knocked on his door. They swept his computer and home but found nothing illegal, only a legally owned gun and journals hinting at deep depression. Without evidence, he was cleared. Even so, the pressure broke him. On May 18, 2008, James took his life. In a 5-page suicide note, he denied any wrongdoing and vowed one last message. "I have no faith in the justice system. I have lost control, and this is my only way to regain control." His death rocked the cyber community. To some, it validated a legacy of genius and vulnerability. And yet, even now, whispers of a twist persist. Conspiracy blogs claim James left behind an encrypted Pentagon folder, a cache of undiscovered secrets from his hacks. Officials dismissed it as fantasy, but believers point to his enigmatic final note and brilliant mind. Whether myth or fate, Jonathan James's story ended on an unsolved cipher, a final encrypted code that remains unbroken. Trivia. Answer: we have asked which of the following exploits was used by the 2017 WannaCry ransomware to spread globally. A. Eternal Blue. B. Blue Keep. C. Heartbleed. D. Shellshock. And the correct answer is A. Eternal Blue. The WannaCry worm of 2017 spread worldwide by exploiting the Eternal Blue SMB vulnerability, a weaponized NSA exploit leaked by the shadow brokers. Chapter 8: The Lesson, the Cyber Pro Breakdown. Patch relentlessly. Major hacks often exploit old flaws. WannaCry rode on Eternal Blue, a bug Microsoft had patched weeks before. The lesson: install security updates immediately or risk global disaster. No one's truly invisible online. Every intrusion leaves a trace. James logged into NASA and Pentagon systems, but network logs and IP tracking eventually traced the ghost back to his house. Proper logging and monitoring will always expose persistent attackers. Fun has consequences. The boy who thought of hacking as a game became the first US juvenile sent to prison for cybercrime. Cyber policies don't distinguish fun from malice. If you poke at the law or sensitive systems, expect severe penalties. Hardening is key. James exploited unsecured routers and outdated security. Today's lesson: defend in depth. Firewalls, intrusion detection, and least privilege accounts are a must. Don't leave a backdoor open. Even an anonymous intruder may find it. Ethical hacking matters. He had real skill. Ethical hackers channel that skill into bug bounty programs and security research, legally and with purpose. As a cyber pro, use your talents to protect systems, not to break them. Learn from history. Cybersecurity is a story of repeated themes. Study past cases like James's hacks or WannaCry to recognize risks. Never underestimate what a single exploit or a careless mistake can unleash on an entire network. If this deep dive into digital history captivated you, subscribe to Decoding Cybersecurity for more cinematic cybercrime stories. Hit that bell and join us, because the next mystery is already loading. And don't forget, our playlist is a vault of decoded hacks and true cyber tales. Explore it and keep your cyber IQ sharp. The code has been broken, but our journey is just beginning.